We're going to start out talking about boundaries because it is true that sometimes having boundaries with your family is one of the toughest groups that you can have boundaries with. So, this woman posted in the Am I Overreacting subreddit. She also posted in the Am I the A-hole thread. She says, Am I overreacting? Parents want me to babysit my 18-year-old sister when I don't have much spare time. Let's look at her text messages. Daughter is in blue, mom is in black. Mom says, When do you start working? She says, September 3rd. She says, Oh, okay. I need you to really watch your little sister. Daughter is like, Huh? And mom is like, Because I'm worried. She's like, About? About us leaving her. Which one? As in which sister? And she gives a name and she's like, Of course. And then daughter's like, Woman, I'm already stressed out about going to work. Plus, I'm still incorporating working out when I go back. I have to be up at 5:30 a.m. and end my day with a boot camp at 5:30 p.m. I don't have time to keep close tabs on blank. Maybe she should stay here with Nana. Then mom reminds her that Nana's going. She says, we'll be on the cruise. What the hell? And then daughter was like, Oh, I forgot Nana is going. And then mom is like, Wow. She says, Anyway, everything else still stands. I can check in with her daily like I do anyway, but I'm going to be very busy. And then mom was like, So she'll be by herself? And then daughter says, I mean, for most of the day, you want me to stop working and working out to babysit an 18-year-old. And mom was like, Wow, really? Never mind. Daughter was like, I really need you to look at this objectively because this makes no sense to me. What do you expect me to do? And then mom says, Call me. Daughter, this part right here. She says, Not if you're going to get loud. I have a headache and don't feel well. She created boundaries with her mother. You know that that's hard to do. You know it's hard to do sometimes, especially with a mom or a dad. So this is her whole caption. She said, so she's 32 and baby sister is 18. She says, My parents and grandmothers are going on a week-long cruise starting on 8/31. So August 31st. They haven't mentioned anything about keeping tabs on my younger sister. Tonight, my mom texted me this. Maybe I was a bit blunt, but honestly, I don't understand what she wants me to do. My sister is 18, and I physically can't be home until 5 p.m. My parents called me. They're prone to getting loud and intense, and I said she can stay with me so I can see her in the evenings and she won't have to sleep alone. My mom says, So she's just going to be alone? And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I said, For most of the day, yes. And she said, Wow, okay. My dad was in the background yelling at me. I'm a people pleaser, and my parents put a lot of their responsibilities on me as a child. They are used to me bending over backwards for them and putting their or my sister's needs before mine. This is probably the first boundary I've set. Anyway, this whole situation pissed me off, and I said, This is wild. Make it make sense, which made them more mad. I got off the phone and blocked them for the night because what I'm not going to do is let them stress me out. I came a long way with my mental health for this. Am I overreacting? Is there something more I can do? The only thing that you can do more is get confident in your decision to do this because this is a big effing deal. The fact that she is a former people pleaser and she's working through her mental health issues tells me that she is trying to grow in herself at the big age of 32. That is a big step. There is a humongous gap between her and the 18-year-old sister. And from what she's saying here, it sounds like she had to be a secondary parent. She said that they put a lot of their responsibilities on the daughter. So now she's like, Look, this is my life now. And I am so here for this. Parents are going to have to stop trying to make their children surrogate parents, especially if they didn't participate in any activities to bringing these children into the world. Y'all, people gonna have to stop making them second parents and stealing their childhood because that's what they're doing. These parents are stealing their children's childhood. Okay, some of the comments. Okay, friend says maybe they should take her on the cruise if they're so concerned about her being alone all day. At this point, I would get real petty and start sending them links to pet sitters on Rover as an alternative, like maybe some adult care facilities. Like, seriously, what's the concern? Ridiculous. Not overreacting. And please, OP, hold strong on your boundaries. Your sister is not your responsibility, and your parents' feelings about that are also not your responsibility. Obscure Coco says, Shh, I genuinely laughed out loud. If OP takes your advice, I expect an update. This comment says, you are underreacting. You should never again have a debate about babysitting an 18-year-old. She is an adult. Babysitting is over. Your parents are unhinged and will just have to get over it. Green Up Your Life says you should have never had your parents put you into a parenting role when you were their child, let alone as an adult. I'd ask them something impossible in return for it offensively and tell them first off that your sibling is an adult and that their responsibilities are not yours anymore. Also, helicopter parent much? You're both adults. I ask this kindly from a person who stopped family contact. Do you feel fulfilled with them in your life? They sound awful to deal with. By the way, your response was incredible, and I still think you're underreacting. So this person says, if you haven't raised her to be self-sufficient enough to spend the day alone as a legal adult, you need to rethink your travel plans because it's not my job to compensate for your failure as a parent. So basically, she's saying copy and paste that to her parents. Alice says, Mama gonna definitely get loud after that bomb. Hot sauce says, burn. This person says, ooh, this response is delicious. Okay, at the bottom, Trace Gates says, is there something wrong with your sister? Like, is she disabled in some way? Because if not, your parents are psychopaths. She's 18, not 8. And then the OP says, nope, she is newly 18 and a bit immature, but fully self sufficient. And so Scarlet Darkstar says, tell them she can call you if she doesn't know what to do in an emergency, but she doesn't need a babysitter. For 2 in 8 Witch says, I straight up tell them if you can't trust an adult you raised, that's on you. She's an adult now. She doesn't require a babysitter. I have my own life now. I'm not on your payroll, so I've got stuff to do. Have fun on your cruise. People are giving her some really good things to say. Okay, so Three Bag says, you're right. They need to make it make sense. No average 18-year-old needs supervision. She's probably going to have a fab time staying with you because she won't have to deal with your overbearing parents. And then the OP, and this was in the Am I the A-hole thread? I told you she cross-posted this. She says, oh yeah, she's been excited about them going for weeks now. The OP has been actively in these comments. Coriander Jimbro says, if you're 32 and your parents still think they control you, then you need to grow up and set some real boundaries. Please act like an adult. Once you do, your parents will be forced to treat you like one. That's kind of harsh. In this whole exchange, she's showing that she's starting to give boundaries. So this was kind of unnecessary. The OP says, I believe that I do act like an adult in most aspects of my life. It's not easy to set boundaries when you've been conditioned and emotionally abused for years. I am aware of the issue and actively working on it. So I could see the work that she has done. So this person, Coriander Jimbro, was just so out of pocket with this. MWG says, my first thought after reading the text exchange was, wow, she did great at setting boundaries. Nice work. Your hard work is paying off. And the OP at the bottom was like, thank you so much. You have no idea how much your words mean to me. And, we can give encouragement so that she can keep going with the boundaries. But like she said, if you've been emotionally abused, if you've been a people pleaser, if you've been adultified, then sometimes it is challenging. And you have to make the first step somewhere. And that is what she's doing with asserting these boundaries right now. People can have just a little bit more tact and grace when commenting on these things, but this is Reddit. Anyways, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.